Yo, yo, yo. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a full BMX collection tour, as well as a triple bike check, going in detail of all of these parts before I sell a lot of them. This in general is my old collection from high school, and now that I'm getting older, got some life things coming up, I've decided I'm probably going to be parting with most of these. So I figured I'd do one big video to cover them all and to kind of capture this moment while I do have them. So let's dive in. Next, we're going to be doing a triple bike check. Each one of these bikes are unique in their own way, which makes them perfect for the collection. In this corner, we have the Stevie Churchill Federal frame with the AQUAFRESH Churchill forks. I do not remember the offset on those, but they're pretty unique. They have a little gouge there. Sorry that if some of these are pretty dirty. I've been meaning to wipe them down before this video, but time has gotten ahead of me and I figured I would at least make the video. This frame is unique and easily identifiable by this Federal engraving in the dropouts down here, which is really cool. Again, I do not remember the dimensions on this. I do believe it's a 21-inch top tube, but I could be wrong on that. We have the AQUAFRESH fork cap, and then this is the Shadow Odin stem, I believe, with some stolen bars. The S&S on here. Some random grips, random seat. Down here we have the Odyssey Thunderbolt cranks with the Odyssey LaGuardia sprocket. These cranks are fire. They're in 175 right now, so they're long boys with some Odyssey pedals on here, so a full Odyssey drivetrain. It's really light and really smooth. Can't complain there. And then moving on to the wheels, we have the G Sport rib cage. I do not have the sticker on here, but if we zoom in, this is the rim outline. So these wheels were actually stolen from me and defaced, and then we repoed them back, we'll say. But they're laced to a shadow hub. So we have a half shadow on here, and then same thing with the front. It's G Sport rib cage laced to a shadow female hub front wheel. I custom laced those myself, or I ordered them custom laced myself. Those were super fire, one of my first big purchases. And then we have the Shadow Creeper 2.4 tires. I like fat tires, so all of these bikes are gonna have big 2.4s on there. Overall, the focus on this bike was to go big and black. So it's a 21-inch frame with 175mm cranks. The bars are 9-inch rise. I do not like super short bars, but I guess I went with a shorter route on this one. I could have gone a little higher with 10s or 11s, but I like the balance that this provided overall, and it's a super light bike, being mostly Odyssey and Shadow. So yeah, that about does it for the Federal. And to catch my breath for a second, but let's take a look at the second build. This is a Colt OS frame. It's a V2, I believe, but I could be wrong. The way to identify that it is a Colt OS, unfortunately there's no engravings or anything on here that says Colt, but if you squeeze the bottom tube, it's actually oval, which I've never seen before. It's a unique identifier. You can't really see it, but if you squeeze the top one and then the bottom, it's visibly oval. So that's cool, extra strength. We have that hooked up to some Odyssey race forks. I believe these are discontinued, they're quite old, but I've got them hooked up to a new Odyssey top bolt. So those are pretty cool. Then we have the Shadow Tremor stem, I believe. I don't recall, but top load hooked up to the Colt Quattro bars. So I used to have Colt Quattro bars and the Colt Sect forks, as well as the Colt stem. I forget what happened to the Colt stem, actually. I think that's still around somewhere, but the forks unfortunately broke, so I had to throw the Odyssey bad boys on here. Moving down here, we also have the Colt cranks. So it was a cool Colt build, but the forks really threw that off. But nonetheless, we have the Colt cranks. These are in 165mm. So the opposite of the bike over there, 175. So we got some short cranks, long cranks. This is again a 21-inch top tube. I know that for a fact. So two 21s. This one is a cassette. I should have mentioned that as well. That bike back there is a free coaster. So we have a free coaster and a cassette. So that's kind of what I mentioned. Each bike is a little unique. I kind of have a little taste of everything in the BMX world. This one also has 4 pegs. Moving on to the wheels, I threw a set of Stranger Crux XL rims on here. They're just completes from Stranger themselves. Cassette again. There's a female front hub, but we can't see that. I love female front hubs. I try to only run them. 2.4 Primo Richter tires. They're a little bit flat from sitting, but I thought that was really cool the way that turned out with the Stranger and the purple. It's just a nice little faint touch. Complements the white really well. Moving down here, I skipped right over this actually. This is the ECLAT AK sprocket. So what's cool about this is, What's cool about this is Alex Kennedy, he's the AK. He also rode for Colt for a while. So I was trying to put the Colt AK frame with the ECLAT AK sprocket, but unfortunately the Colt AK frame got stolen from me before I could do that, so I had to put it on the Colt OS. But little story, I like matching companies that work together, or riders that work for the same companies. And then we got whatever seat on here. It's a Division, I believe. Came from a complete bike along the ways. But yeah, overall I love this bike. It's a very rad feel. I love Colt, and I like the little touch of purple it gave on there. I almost forgot with these Colt Quattro bars. The rise is a 9.65, which I thought was incredibly unique. Never see that, and it's nice and high, but also in the middle. It's not too high or too low, so perfect bars. I've cut them down to my perfect width as well. I couldn't tell you the numbers, but I like the way it rides. We've also got these Stranger Hicks grips on here. Sorry, they're a little dirty, but Stranger matches the Primo. I used to watch John Hicks a lot, so you got the wheel set to match the Stranger and then the Primo, so a little compliment to him there. And then moving on to my third bike, this one is pretty cool. It's a full chrome build with the Shadow Skeletor purple kit on here. So the frame is a United Martinez frame off of a complete, actually. This is the only frame in the build sets that's from a complete. And then it was paint stripped to reveal the chrome, which was very cool. Again, we have the United marking on there. That's the only thing. And then we have that hooked up to some Odyssey R28 forks, I believe, with the Odyssey Hazard Light wheel set, matching Clutch V2 free coaster back there, laced to a Hazard Light as well. And then moving up here to the headset, we have the Shadow purple kit again, and then this spacer. Can't really see it, but it's actually carbon fiber. Thought that was pretty cool. It matches the purple and chrome. And we have the Shadow Odin Skeletor purple stem. And then this fork top bolt, you know, I said the racing forks were laced to the new one. I believe this one came from the racing forks, or I could be wrong, but I did some fork bolt swapping, and this is the other Odyssey bolt. I have the chrome stem bolt kit on here as well. Thought that was really cool. Managed to pick those up at the same time I grabbed the purple parts. These are the Shadow Gypsy grips. Just thought those were cool. Got the purple metal bar ends as well. And then moving down here, we have the Odyssey cranks. I forget what they are called, but they're the one less than the Thunderbolts over there. Chrome again with the purple pedals from Shadow. Shadow purple guard sprocket. All in Skeletor purple. And then I even have a Shadow C-clamp. Random Colt seat. Gotta use what you gotta use. And then taking a closer look at the Odyssey Clutch V2 free coaster set. This is very unique because it's got a female back hub. It's also adjustable with the slack via an Allen key. So you can actually pull back that chrome thing and adjust them. That's why it's the clutch rim. Then we have a set of Odyssey tires on here, of course, to complete the build. So it's almost a full Odyssey X Shadow build. Hooked up to a United frame, and I almost forgot the S&M bars. These are 9 rise as well. But yeah, overall, looking at these three bikes, when you look at them together, they each serve their own purpose. So this is the park bike. This is the street bike with the 4 pegs. And then this is sort of the park and street, being Stevie Churchill and having 2 pegs on there. I also have the hub guard, just on the front actually, so kind of useless. But every now and then I have some hub guards thrown on here. This one has 3. This one has 3 as well. And then they all have a guard sprocket. I've broken a tooth before and that was all it took. Always ride guard sprockets from now on. Can't break your teeth, so what can go wrong? Same thing with front wheels being female hubs. All the wheels I ride are female hubs, just in case I ever bend an axle. The point is you can just replace one bolt. You don't have to replace the whole axle that goes through. I also tried to give them sort of opposite colors. So we have the full chrome build. And then we have the full black build. So when you look at those two together, looks pretty cool. And then this bike is just a little show in the middle. It's white and purple. Yeah, that about does it as far as the bike checks go. Over to the raw parts. We have a lot to cover. Practically 4 more bikes. Let's just take it one thing at a time. We have another chrome kit. So we have the wheels, bars, sprocket, stem, and cranks. Let's take a closer look at these parts too. So these cranks are the Demolition RIG cranks. However, unfortunately, I'm missing a bolt to complete those. So those are really cool. And then to match, I have the Demolition RIG top stem. I've never seen those in use, but they're pretty heavy, I'm not gonna lie. So I haven't really thrown them on anything. Then I have just a Colony chrome sprocket to match and some Sunday chrome bars off a complete. Up here we have a Division 4-piece bar set with the Division badge right here. A random top stem. I have no idea what the heck that is. Ugh. We have some Sunday grips, Odyssey grips. Moving down here, we just have whatever cranks. I believe these are Mission off of a complete. Then we have a couple sets of pedals. So we have BSD on the Demolitions. We have Black Ops metal, Salt Plus plastics. Actually, these are the Salt Plus plastics, and then these are Fit plastics, I believe. Or whatever Fit company they use, I forget. And then speaking of Fit, we have a couple Fit sprockets, and then Mission, I believe this is Mission as well. Moving up here, we get into the colors. So I have some Shadow blue pedals, red S&M sprocket, white Haro front load stem, and a black front load. I don't really like front loads, so those have just been sitting. But I love colors. So we also have a purple bottom bracket. It was supposed to match the Skeletor purple, but the bottom bracket kit didn't work with my spindle. I have too big of a bottom bracket on there, unfortunately. I believe that's a 19 millimeter, and I have a 22 or something like that. I don't remember the details. So that does it for the chrome set and the black parts. Then moving over, we have the Merrit AQUAFRESH kit. This is super cool. This was a big hit at the time. They're pretty old, very used, but very rare as well. I have everything but the grips. The grips were kind of trashy and they broke in no time. Tires are pretty worn, but they do have some tread on there still. I think those are in 2.3. Again, that whole kit is pretty cool. It looks sick on a bike, especially a chrome or a white frame. Very neat. I've just been resting them for a while. I also have the Colt Vans in purple camo. But even cooler than that, we have the Strangergram set. So I believe they only made 2 parts in this colorway, the sprocket and the stem. And again, that's by Stranger. I really need to throw that on another set. Originally, I had them matching the tires for the Primo Richter, but I had something else in mind, but it's not a bad idea to throw both of those on there again. I was matching the AK with the Colt. I like matching stuff like that every now and then, so we'll see what happens. Then moving on to seats, I just have a random We Have People seat with the seat post, DK pivotal, Colt pivotal. This one's cool because the pivotal slot was cut, and it's actually like a little secret compartment. Not much you can throw in there, a bolt, hubcaps, I don't freaking know, pivotal. And then this is the Kink Smut V2 seat. It's got some naked girls on there. Not for real, but yeah, for real. Hooked up to the Colt pivotal, because again, I like Colt. Used to be on the Colt build, but took it off when I got married. Moving on to frames. These are a lot of people's favorite. However, these have been through a lot. Are better off just resting for now. Starting back here, we have the Fit Aiken frame. I know it's a Fit because of some distinct markings, and I know the history of this frame. Traded a lot of hands, but I ended up back with it. We also have a Sabrosa Bullets seat on there. Super sick. Pivotal. And then we have a Fit Benny 3 frame. I got confused because of the Colt stickers. None of these stickers are original. This frame has been repainted, but it is you can see some evidence of the repaint, but it is a Fit Benny 3. Super cool. I was following the history of this frame very closely whenever I used to ride it. Again, it's hard to identify some of these frames other than just word of mouth, but you have to go off of the little things like that, and they go a long way. This, again, was a super cool frame at the time. We have Fit down here in the seat post as well, which is built in. Just haven't really had a use or a build in mind for it though, so it's been sitting. Moving back, we have a red wine frame. I've never rode or cared for red wine in the slightest, but this frame came with, I basically bought someone's old junk parts, got some of these forks coming up and some of these frames. So this one does have a reinforced bottom tube and a half-link chain down here. So it's not bad. Got some reinforced dropouts as well. I believe it's the asset frame. We can see there. I think that's on a complete. Made by Red Wine. My only Red Wine part that I'll never ride. And then we have one more Fit frame. Should have left this up with the two other Fits. This is actually I don't know what this is. This is off some complete from 2016 range. We half blasted it with sandpaper and we were really trying to scrub it to repaint it. But we never did fully finish around the dropouts and stuff. And it just became a project that wasn't worth the time or motivation. But frame ready to paint pretty much. But yeah, all the frames but one have a bottom bracket. 2 of them have a chain. Then I have a bag of some extra chains. We have the American chain, a oil slick chain, but it's only chain pieces. So you'd have to build one, cut some links, do all the shenanigans. They're just accumulating as spares at the moment. Then we'll touch on these forks real quick. It's very tragic. All of these are missing a top bolt. These, I also have no idea what they are. Maybe someone could help identify them. There's no markings or anything. But it is a thick top bolt, which I typically associate with decent forks. Here we have the Colt Gateway forks. We have the skinny bolt up here. Again, no bolt. And then this is the Kink Trident forks. Not bad. Thick bolt. They have some taper, but again, no bolt. Now, touching on wheels. Start over here with the best set. I should have touched on this with the chrome parts. It was technically part of the chrome kit. This is the Odyssey Hazard Light wheel set again. Female front hub. However, what's different between this wheel and the last one is this one is actually a cassette. It's a female hub cassette, which is the first I've ever seen. Female hub free coaster. Both of these are Odyssey Hazard Light. So I have the matching pair with the Odyssey Hazard Light front wheel as well, female hub. The tires are S&M. Forget what or where the marking is, but you can trust me on that. Then moving over here, so we have the chrome wheel set. We also have a black wheel set. This one I also bought online myself. It's the Revenge Industries cassette set. So I also bought the Free Coaster wheel set of these to get the front female hub. And then my friend bought the cassette wheel set. And we traded back wheels. So I essentially have the cassette with the female front hub, which you can't buy as a set. You have to buy the, yeah. Then we have a shadow front wheel. It's pretty cool, female front hub as well. It's complete in white. This is their old rim, I believe. Don't recall what kind. All double wall, but I don't have the matching rear. So it's kind of just a one-off front wheel I have in my set. Same thing with this. This is a custom wheel. It's a Stranger Crux rim to just a Mission Saltwater female front hub. Again, I love the female front hubs. Double wall rims. And then this is kind of tragic. It's a Primo Remix wheel, but the front, or sorry, this is a rear hub, blew out. So I need to get a whole new hub, I believe, or maybe just the spindle and hardware, but Primo rim. And then, so yeah, that about does it. A couple build kits here for a couple more builds, but probably missing a part or two, or probably a bolt or two. I also have a lot of colorways that I can mix and interchange with these. It's the reason I fell in love with BMX, is the fact that you can take one color of anything and mix it out exactly how you want. I also fell in love with the customization. Once I figured out the lengths and the heights of everything and its meaning, I absolutely chased it. So certain bikes, for certain reasons, have certain lengths and heights that I was really big on at the time. Yeah, if you guys have any ideas for a color set or combination that I didn't think of, definitely let me know below. And let me know your guys' favorite build. I'll like it if I agree with it, and that'll probably be the bike I stick with. Then I'm probably gonna try and sell everything else here. Take a nice good look at everything. Some of these are discontinued. A lot of them are very old. Some of them are still chucking. So yeah, that about covers it. Thanks for bearing with me for everything. Stay tuned for some more riding clips. I mostly ride scooter nowadays as well, just for the ease of time and maintenance, but I do have a heart and soul for BMX, so I'll definitely get back into it and do some cool videos here and there. Hope you guys enjoyed.